Hey, my friends, Jeff here from HigherTrustMarketing.com. Hey, glad you could join me today. Look, wanted to talk about and have a live stream today. It's not going to be that long, so it's going to be a quick one, but I wanted to have it around product strategy. See, we coach a lot of online business entrepreneurs, people who are taking offline businesses, moving them online, but a lot of people who want to start something organic, want to start something greenfield, and start a new kind of lifestyle, a new business, a new way of earning income. Maybe take a hobby, turn it into a business. Maybe take a desire to change their life in some way and start a new career, start a new direction. And that's what and inevitably this conversation comes around to what product do I offer, what business do I get into, what is my offering. And so I wanted to cover that off a little bit today because, we've coached people in business that have offered physical products. We've coached people who have had products manufactured. We've coached people who have dropship products. We've coached a lot of people who have done digital products, either, come up with their own ebooks or their video courses, their own coaching programs. They've turned consulting programs. They've turned basically their expertise into digital products that they've offered online. So we've kind of coached people on the gamut. We ourselves have run many different types of business. We've licensed products, we've dropship products. We have offered digital products, continue to offer digital products in a number of markets. So I wanted to go over that a little bit with you. So the first point I wanted to make was this whole concept today that in the beginning, actually the product is you. It's you, your personality, what you can bring to a given marketplace. So the value you can bring. Now, some people, there's different philosophies on this. You can start off by making the product you and actually living that way for quite some time. So in other words, you're giving away a lot of your content, you're sharing your expertise, you're sharing your views, you're sharing your opinions, you're sharing advice, you're sharing your value with a marketplace in exchange for their loyalty, their credibility, their ability to share your message. And you're building up your reputation, you're building up your credibility. And then eventually you can monetize that in different ways. You may monetize it directly with that market. You may pivot to the right. So if you look at guys like, let's use Gary Vaynerchuk as an example, right? So Gary chose to start off by offering his dad's liquor online. So physical liquor store, taking that business online, building it from about a $2 million business up to a $60 million business online, and learning a whole lot in the process about how to do business online, right? So then he decided, okay, we're going to at some point hand that business back to his family, and they were going to take over that business, Wine Library TV, and decided then to make the business of sharing what he learned, really give that to the market and spend years, literally a decade, building his brand, building his reputation by just giving value back. Now, there's some books along the way, but really books are, when you're selling a physical published book, it's a lot more about branding, credibility. You're not gonna make a ton of money off of books because the licensing deals you get a couple of bucks per book, right? And then he decided to go off and build a media company because he saw the potential to disrupt an industry, the advertising industry, the agency industry, and disrupt it and turn it into something really special. Right, by going direct to business, direct to consumer, and allowing him to build build the agency, build the advertising dollar directly with those agencies instead of having to go through the traditional advertising agency approach. And it's really, and he's continued to build his brand and his value and his credibility in the consumer space. And he will monetize that likely down the road. But, here's the thing, is he still monetizes that today, even though he doesn't talk about it, because he's learning a lot about the consumer space, which is what, in fact, he's selling through VaynerMedia to businesses, is how to reach consumers via social, which is what he's doing. So think of his entire branding campaign and credibility to consumer is really just a testing and it's really a litmus test for all of the techniques that he will then take to his paying customers through his business side. Okay, so that's just one example. Other people, like you take a Grant Cardone, or you take anybody else who's selling sort of training courses and products, they started off with the course and then they build their brand and credibility around the course. So what should you do? Well, I think in the beginning, you definitely want to understand the market that you're in, and you understand the main value propositions into that market. And you can become active if you've got some time, if you've got the benefit of time, and you're going to play the long game, and you don't fall into this get rich overnight, and you have to have a lot of big things, and you're willing to dedicate yourself to the market for a year, 2 years, then yeah, build your brand, build your credibility, start to build valuable content. You will learn so much along the way. The feedback from your market will give you opportunities. You will get the chance to monetize. There's no need to go directly and monetize if you're in a place where you can play the long game. If you're not, if you're in a business where, let's say you've been a personal trainer for a decade, and you have that knowledge, you have the understanding, but you just want to take it global. Well, you've put your chops in, you've put your time in, now you got to translate that to online. There's no reason you can't, immediately come up with a course, an introductory course, let's call it that, where you teach people what's already inside your head, what you've learned over that last decade, and at the same time, you start to balance that with a lot of free content, build your credibility, build your brand, and take it to market. So what are your choices in products? Well, you've really got sort of 4 choices. You can make yourself the product and continue on that avenue and cut license deals. So this is the people that go viral, the people that build large followings, the people that build, a lot of interest, a lot of credit in the marketplace, and they want to now do license deals. This would be athletes, this would be celebrities, this would be people on Instagram, the YouTubers who make it really big. And they work their way into licensing deals. So if you're big in the content game, if you're dynamic, if you find that you're building followers, and let's say you go after a market and within a month you're starting to see some potential that you could actually build a really large following, well then licensing deals are certainly in your future. They're a way that you can monetize your value, probably one of the better ways, and here's why. It's because you're allowed to make full use of all of the platforms online and share your vision, your word, share all of your ideas, your value in an open environment, and then monetize it on the back end through licensing deals. Okay, so it's very powerful because you can take full use of all these democratic, sort of wide open systems like YouTube and Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and the next ones that come around. Every year there's going to be a new platform where you can share your word. Okay, so that's number 1 option. Number 2 is you can do things like wholesaling. So if you find you're doing content around, let's use yoga as an example. You're sharing a lot of content around yoga. You get a large following, and you find that maybe yoga mats, yoga wear, you can start to brand your own line, and you can start to bring physical products into fold, and you can sell them on Shopify or on Amazon stores or another platform, Alibaba. Then you can start to wholesale, and you can go find products maybe on Alibaba, or you can go find products in China from distributors, and you can bring them over and you can resell them on your sites today. So wholesaling is another option for you, okay, and licensing and wholesaling. So the other example that you have, or the other option that you have, is affiliate products. And that's where, okay, I'm not a huge fan of making an entire business based on affiliate products, but they are useful for testing markets. So if you're getting involved in a market, let's say it's personal development, and you want to help people overcome stress, and so you create a lot of content around stress, you're starting to draw an audience, you're starting to pull people to your site, you got a couple of 100 visitors a day, and you got some people on social, and people are tuning in, and you want to test a couple of product ideas, some specific product ideas. Well then, going up to ClickBank, going up to Amazon, going up to, you can try Shopify, you can try all these different directories, eJunkie. You can find some titles that are selling well where you can just test 3 or 4 titles and see what your response is. So you can gauge, okay, how open is my audience to buying? What type of titles specifically are they looking for? And then out of that, you can start to get feedback. You can start to get an understanding of what your customers are willing to pay for, so that you can then mix that into your own product strategy. And that is number 4, by the way, is in terms of your product strategy, in terms of what kind of products you can offer. I recommend highly that if you're in the digital product space, if you're in the advice-giving space, if you're sharing anything to do with coaching, consulting, training, educating, any type of advice, any type of seminar, speaking, anything like that, or if you've ever wanted to write a book or teach a course or anything like that, then you want to offer your own digital products. Now, like I said, you can become an affiliate to start and test the market, and that's a great way to test for response and things. But eventually, you want to get into creating your own products. And what's involved in that, I'll leave a link underneath below. You can actually sign up to a free 5-part course that we take you through, that we've used to develop over 24 of our own digital products that range in price from $27 right up to thousands of dollars. And we've helped thousands of other people do the same thing. So it's a great course. It's based on practical knowledge, based on real experience, based on the system that we use, and now that we use to help spread that as we hire other people on the team to develop their own products and share those with their marketplace. But really the goal here is you again build a platform, you build a brand, you build content, you build a following, and then you decipher what is the really high desire stuff where you can offer value. You start to package that into training programs. Those could be videos, those could be speaking engagements, those can be inner circle programs, it can be coaching programs, it can be introductory ebooks and reports, things like that. So very lucrative business, and it's probably a business that all of you should get into at some stage of the game anyway, and have at least part of your product offerings based on that, because people at the end of the day love to be transformed. They love hopeful products. They love to buy products that can help them get from where they are today to where they want to be. And it's one of the easier products to sell, one of the easiest products to develop. You put a couple weeks work in, you'll learn more. If you click on the link down below in the free 5-part program, you'll learn how simple it really can be if you do it right. If you hone in on a specific demand, we teach you how to do that. If you master outlining the product in a really simple way, and we help you with that. And then if you build out that product into a course architecture rather than a traditional book or ebook, and we teach you how to do that. And then if you launch it properly, and we teach you how to do that in that 5-part program. So if you click through it, it will take you, each lesson's 20 minutes. It's a skill that I think you'll come back and thank me for later, because once you know it, you can turn it into products at any stage of the game, anytime. You can come up with 1 product a year, you can come up with 10 products a year. You can build it as big as you want. It's a system that you can take to and build into an enterprise, because other people in your team, you can build it out and they can follow it. You can outsource some of this, especially the writing and the research and the content part of it. And we talk about that in the program, what you should outsource and what you should keep in-house, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at that. So there's your product options. I'd like to hear from you guys what you're thinking about. Are you thinking about physical products? Are you thinking about building a store, a storefront? Are you thinking about licensing products? Are you thinking about drop shipping products? Are you thinking about digital products? Are you thinking about creating your own expert-based products, advice products? And if so, on any of those, if you have questions or if you have concerns, or why haven't you done it yet, let me know. If you've had this idea for a considerable amount of time, what's missing? Is it too risky for you? Are you missing pieces of knowledge? Is it something that you just haven't had the time to get into? What is holding you back at this point? I'd really like to know that. And I hope this was useful. Okay, we tried to cover off all the major areas. And like I said, we've done these, we've built businesses based on all of these. The thing I'll leave you with is if you don't know, if you're not sure, but you want to get a handle on your market, go ahead and take the course below on digital products, because the first part of that course teaches you how to find your best market, how to find something with opportunity and that links to a passion, where you're going to be able to work it 24/7. Where it's going to be fun, where it's not going to seem like, because building a business, no matter how you shake it, it's hard work. But if you get into something where you enjoy it, where there's a passion around it, it doesn't seem as hard. And those are the people that we work with the most that win. And so that course will help you with that. Now, once you get involved in the market and you get a few weeks in and you start generating content, and you start seeing response, and you start seeing people engage with you, and you start linking up with people in your area, you will quickly understand maybe where you want to take it next. What type of product you want to develop. Maybe you're not sure about that today. And the purpose of today's video was really just to give you an overview of what's possible, what's out there, what possibilities exist, what could you do if you start to build a brand around yourself and your market, and then how do you monetize it, right? And that's really what it comes down to. So if you do nothing else, take that advice and get active, because you need to get active in your market no matter what. And if you are still trying to understand your market and you're trying to figure out what the best offering is and figure out what your right monetization model is, it should not stop you. In fact, you should be running as quickly as you can to develop as much content as you can, because that's going to get you to the end game faster, where you understand the market better, where you have better insights than anyone else has, where you have competitive advantages, and where you understand where the real product opportunities are. That's going to be killer. And the sooner you get involved in the market and start testing it, even if you have to pivot, even if you have to start another market, it doesn't matter. Being active and getting active in that market is the only way, for sure, you're going to be able to tell, what that market wants, what the potential holds, how much you like working with that market, how good a fit you are, where the unique value propositions are. And the sooner you're going to live out your dream to be working in a market, working on your own terms, in a market you love, with people you love, providing value that you provide to the marketplace, and you're in control of all aspects of your destiny, right through from the message that your audience is seeing, through how much you work every week, through the partners that you bring on board, through the enterprise that you build, and certainly through the products that you offer. You're in 100% control. And I think that for most of you watching this, that's really what you're looking for, is a lifestyle where you control a lot more of it, that you don't have to sit in meetings, where you don't have to listen to someone else, where you don't have to pick up and clean up other people's messes, where it's you in charge. You take that responsibility, and you realize the rewards at the end of the day. So I hope that was useful. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Share it with anybody that in your list or your followers that you think would be interested in this, because there's a ton of people that are wrestling with this. There's people that may follow you that you have no idea want to start a business, but I guarantee you that most people, in the back of their mind, it's crossed their mind, and they are thinking about it, and they're probably struggling in life right now because they don't know how to take it to the next step. So just blast this out to your followers. It's high value content. I know they'll thank you for it. And hey, like it up, pass it along, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks for joining. Bye bye for now.